In a recent video, I showed you guys how to prep and freeze plantains for up to 1 year. Today, I'm going to be showing you how each one cooks. Greetings to you all. Welcome or welcome back. So let us kick off with the first method. The very first method here, I peeled my plantains and I cut it into chunks like this. Went ahead to parboil it, freeze it. Now let us see how this one cooks, okay? I mostly cut that to make my porridge. This has been in the freezer for 1 month, exactly 1 month, yeah. So now, cook from frozen. Do not thaw it or defrost. Never ever defrost your plantain before you cook. Always cook from frozen. I will add in some water and let it cook until it is tender. When it is tender, you see it looks just like the fresh plantains. That's why I always tell you guys that always blanch your plantains. If you have plans to make porridge with it or any porridge food with the plantain, it is now tender. I will go ahead add in my stew base. If you missed my stew base recipe, you want to check out that recipe. My yellow all-purpose seasoning comes in. Also the homemade garlic paste, season with some salt. Now add in some bouillon, that's chicken bouillon, black pepper, allspice. Now bring in some white pepper. Next is crayfish. You can always use your preferred seasonings in this recipe. I have some smoked fish here and some pre-cooked beef, that's beef with bones. You can use goat meat as well. Bitter leaf is my most important ingredients. I'd never miss this in my plantain porridge, trust me. This is pre-cooked bitter leaf, that's a whole leaf bitter leaves. And right here, my secret homemade vegetable broth cubes. This recipe is gonna be uploaded soon, so make sure you check out this recipe. It's gonna be uploaded in about 2 or 3 days from now, so please check out my homemade vegetable broth cubes. It stands out, it's the best. Trust me, you're never ever gonna buy the store-bought again. Now just go ahead, give that a good stir, add in some palm oil. You're gonna cover the pot and let everything simmer for about 10 minutes. Remember, our plantains has already been pre-cooked. Now add in some scotch bonnet. You can ground yours, I do not grind mine. Now for extra flavor, I add in some country onion. That's a secret for us Cameroonians. Any porridge you want to make, country onion is a must. We love it. Cover it and let it simmer. Like I earlier said, the plantains has been pre-cooked, right? So it's not going to cook for a long time again. Our porridge is perfect. See that? We cooked our plantains from frozen and it's looking like we just came back from the store with it. That's why I love freezing my plantains and cook from frozen. I always repeat, cook from frozen. Everything is good. Go ahead, serve and enjoy. For the second method, now using a slicer, and I just went ahead, sliced plantains like this, put in a dehydrator. I dehydrated it, it dried off, blend it until it is smooth and dust. Make sure you check that video where I went ahead to preserve my plantains. You don't want to miss that video. Now let us see how this one cooks. I'm going to be using this to make my fufu. In a pot of cold water, no hot water yet, cold water, I add in the plantain powder inside and I go ahead and whisk it. I always start with cold water to avoid lumps, okay? This is my secret. I do with all types of fufu. I always mix it with cold water first. When it is smooth, then I start cooking, okay? Now go ahead and whisk, then you turn on your heat and start whisking still with a whisk. Now when it starts to harden like this or it gets thicker, you can now use like a spoon to start stirring and cooking until it is fully cooked. One of my most preferred methods. See how that fufu is looking smooth? The cold water hack, it works for all types of fufu. Trust me, if you're that person who is like me that hates or want to avoid lumps in your fufu, add in water, cover that and let it simmer for about 10 minutes on medium or low heat. Now give that a final stir and it is ready to serve. Go ahead and serve when hot. Plantain fufu, it is best served immediately. By the time you put it in the refrigerator, it becomes stone hard. You're not gonna love it, trust me. It is best served immediately or hot. Now I went ahead to serve mine with some okra. The best side, let me say for me, let me not say the best. For me, plantain fufu, the best side to serve with it is okra soup. Or if you are that person who does not like okra, you can use your vegetable soup, any of your preferred soup. And guess what? This plantain looks like amala. It has the amala, like Nigerians who understand me. It has the amala color. So see that? The best fufu ever. Let's go to our third method, which we preserved our plantains. We preserved these from our previous video for plantain chips. I just sliced it like how I sliced for the dehydrated plantains. I transferred into parchment paper, freeze it first before you transfer into Ziploc and freeze again. Now let us see how these chips is gonna cook from frozen. To a pot, you want to add in cooking oil. I'm using vegetable oil here. That's a preferred oil to use to deep fry. Now, fry from frozen. I tell you, never ever thaw it or defrost. Always fry your plantain chips from frozen. Now, put that into the oil. Let it cook until it floats. There's one secret I showed you guys in my other plantain video, how to salt it. You do not salt your plantain by sprinkling salt before you fry. No, that method does not work. Keep watching ahead and I'm going to be showing you how I salt my plantain for chips. This method is the best if you're doing it for business purposes as well. Now, when it starts to float, in a bowl of water, add in salt, then go ahead and stir until it slightly dissolves. It must not dissolve, or just like slightly. Then scoop like 2 to 3 spoons, mostly 2 or 3 spoons here, inside the oil. Then give it a good stir like this. This is the best way to salt your chips while frying. Now the chips has been frying. When everything floats like this, you want to make sure that it is hard before you take it out from the oil. You can feel it with a spoon and you see that it's hard. Okay, now take it out from the spoon. My plantain was half ripe plantains, so that's why it has that slight brown color. Remove and place on an absorbent paper and just repeat the process for the rest of the plantains. Let it cool off before you serve and you're gonna enjoy the best ever crispy plantain chips ever, made from frozen. Like I said, this plantain has been in the refrigerator for a month, and this plantain can also be in the refrigerator for a year and it's still gonna turn out good. So far you have constant electricity. Listen to how crunchy that is looking. Now let us jump to the fourth method of preserving from our previous video. Now I just went ahead cut this plantain. These footages are just from the previous video because I don't want to just jump into cooking it without showing you how I preserved it. Okay, so make sure you check out that video. Let us see how this one cooks. To a pot, I just went ahead adding the plantain from frozen. I repeat, cook from frozen. This has been in the refrigerator 1 month like the others. Now I'll just go ahead, put that in my instant pot, add in some water, and I'm gonna boil for 7 minutes until the pressure releases naturally. You can also use your pressure pot, but you have to know how your pressure pot works. Make sure you do not want to overcook your plantains. You're not going to like how mushy it's going to look like. After cooking that, that's how it's looking. I always boil mine with the skin on because it tends to give me really soft plantains. See how tender that is? That is frozen plantains. I always tell you guys, it's a taboo throwing plantains in my home. I never ever throw plantains. Now let me enjoy my fufu and my okra soup. My best ever. Plantain fufu and okra is the best. So guys, thank you so much for watching to this point. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my other preservation video, plantains, yam, potatoes, everything. It is so educational, and guess what, you're gonna grab something from there. And until I see you in my next video, bye. I love you all.